You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios, live in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. Streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Chatting with Cathy.
Hello everyone, Bing is for doing, and today we are doing another episode of Chatting with Cathy right here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm Cathy Kelly, and joining me today, I'm so excited to have Jean-Luc Bilodeau.
Yes, you said it right.
I was gonna mispronounce it because I heard you get so upset when people mispronounce it, or it happens all the time.
I don't get upset. I just I cut some slack for everybody, especially in the States. I'm from Canada, so
yeah.
I mean, French is a very popular language in Canada, so it's...
I did have to figure out how to pronounce it though.
No, I know.
Will
Did
say
you
that.
have to like Wikipedia it or something?
I think I listened to other interviews where they pronounce it correctly.
That's good.
So yeah. But you have an impressive list of credits. You got your breakthrough role in Kyle XY. Mm-hmm. You did LOL with Demi Moore and Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
And then now you are starring in ABC Family's hit sitcom Baby Daddy. Yeah, so
it's been a good ride, man. Like, I've had a really easy go at it. You know, I've been at this since I was like, when I booked Kyle XY, I was 15 years old. So it's just kind of been, you know, keeping the ball rolling and you know, putting the time in, and it's paid off. So
yeah, and I want to talk about your entire career and all the credits that you do have. But first, I want to take it back to the very beginning. Okay. You grew up in Surrey, very small family.
Oh man, Surrey. I usually say Vancouver.
Vancouver.
But Surrey is like just on the outskirts of Vancouver. But grew up in Vancouver. Surrey. And then I spent a lot of time in Vancouver, so I feel like, you know, I can own that.
That's like the big city.
It's the big city. Yeah, I live in the small city next to the big city. So, grew up in Surrey and Fleetwood and small town kind of. Well, it's not really a small town, but it's, you know, compared to LA, it's like, you know, third of the size.
Anything is a small town.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was just you, your parents, and your sister. Growing up.
Wow, you know your stuff. Okay. Just my older sister, 2 parents, just small family. You know, actually, my dad's family's really big. All his siblings had like thousands of kids, so we were like the smallest one. But small family. Come from very humble beginnings, I guess.
And I know that since you're from Canada, you have to be a huge hockey fan. Canucks?
Oh, baby. Woo! I am a huge Canucks fan.
Did you play hockey growing up at all?
I played for like 4 years, but I was never that good. I was more of a performer, you know. I was like the funny guy on the team that like...
What did you do?
I just was telling jokes the whole time. I never actually like... I loved the sport. I cared so much about the sport, but I wasn't that fast of a player. Okay. And I just gassed real easy. I just tired real quickly. So... I was more about just chilling and telling jokes and making everybody have a good time instead of actually scoring goals. So, before I kind of grew up and had to like buy new equipment and spend thousands of dollars on new equipment, we just decided like, okay, we'll just keep him in dance and acting. Like, that's what he's...
You don't need any equipment to dance.
Exactly. You just need this. So
I played ice hockey growing up, and it was traumatizing.
You did?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago. But
oh, nice.
Yeah, like I wanted to do figure skating, and my mom signed me up for ice hockey classes because it was cheaper.
It's very similar,
It's so bad. But... ice hockey, you still have to buy like all
tons
the gear.
Of stuff. Thousands of dollars.
People don't even think about it.
And like ice time, that's expensive too. Renting the rink and I remember our lessons, like our team. I think it was like, I don't know. It must have been thousands of dollars a year. So I mean, it's, you know, good job for, you know.
Did you ever get roughed up a little bit? I mean, I know you were young when you were playing, so it wasn't as intense.
It was a pretty like, you know, less intense league because I was younger, obviously. So. I didn't get roughed up too much. I remember getting in a couple fights, but they weren't really fights. They were just like 2 little kids just like smacking each other with the equipment on, so you didn't get hurt, right? So,
just emulating what you see on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, practicing.
Yeah. So your sister Danielle, she is a talent agent now. Whose interest in the industry came first, yours or hers?
It was always my sister first. She did everything first. I like pretended like I didn't like it, and then I eventually got into it. So. Same thing happened with the dance. She started dancing. I was like, no, don't do it. And then I finally got into dancing. And then with acting, she started out and did like a slew of commercials, and then I'm like, okay, well, I might have a go at this. Really? And so kind of followed her into it. And then, I mean, she wasn't a part of the industry for probably 10 years. And then she came with me to a interview with an agent, and she offered my sister an assistant job.
Did
like
she
at
offer
the table.
you?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, hold on. This isn't about her, all right? This meeting's about me. No. I actually ended up going with that agent too, so it worked out. And so, yeah, Danielle got an assistant job, and now she's an agent, so.
And since you're represented by them, or you were represented by them?
I was with the original agent that I had the meeting with that offered my sister the job, and as of January of 2012, my sister has been my agent. Okay. So like right before I booked Baby Daddy, it was like perfect timing.
Yeah.
Keeping in the family. So she's my Canadian representation. I have, LA reps and stuff out here.
It's nice to have. I mean, I was going to ask about your family support. Obviously, they're supportive, and she is super supportive to the next level.
Yeah, it's nice having someone on your team that's like you're so close with, that's like obviously has your best interest at heart. So, and you like, there's no question about it, and it's great. It's awesome. It's a really good team. We all work well together. Shannon knows, she's my publicist. She's but yeah, we all work really well together. So she's a great fit. So
cool. And I know you mentioned doing commercials when you were younger. Your first commercial was when you were about 8 years old, doing a remote control toy car commercial.
Yeah.
And what was that experience like, your first commercial? Were you nervous at all, or too young to be nervous?
You know what? I can't really remember if I was nervous or not, but I remember I've been working at it so long, like doing these commercial auditions. Like in Vancouver, you like, if you're a cute little kid, you will go on like 4 auditions a day throughout the summer.
Really?
Just like, it's crazy. So,
how did your parents keep up with that? If they were helping your sister out, helping you out?
Well, at that time, I think my sister had already dropped out of acting, so she was taking me on the SkyTrain into Vancouver from Surrey every day for these auditions. So, thanks, Danielle. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I was going at it for a couple years. I wasn't booking anything. And then finally I booked my first commercial. And yeah, it was fun. It was exciting. And then it literally, like, every month after that, I was doing a new commercial. And I just, like, bang, 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 bang. I don't know what happened. Something clicked inside my head. Like, I knew how to act in a commercial. I don't know.
So when did you know that this was something that you wanted to do for the rest of your life?
Ooh, man. You know what? Before I booked Kyle XY, I didn't quite know what I was doing, like as an actor and as a professional. I just didn't really know what this business was about at all. And I suppose it was the first like few episodes of Kyle XY where I was like, this is amazing. I love the people I work with. I have so much freedom and independence. And I'm making money, and I'm like this young kid, and I loved it. I mean, it clicked for me. I love acting. I love being on a film and television set. So, yeah, I guess Kyle XY, it must have been the first few episodes, and kept the ball rolling on that show, and learned so much in the hiatuses of those shows. Like just the break that I had between the seasons of Kyle XY, I like grew as an actor, so like it became even more serious, and like as the time went on. So.
And I know Kyle XY was your breakout role. You were very fortunate to have it tape in Vancouver, so you're close to home. But did you ever struggle to balance like schoolwork, hang out with friends, and taping the show?
You know what? No, I never. Like I was a class clown, so I wasn't really doing my homework anyways. So I mean, Kyle XY didn't really like keep me away from homework. I still wasn't doing it, but. No, I balanced it really easy. I worked throughout the week, but I always had days off. I did school in a trailer.
They had an on-set tutor, right?
On-set tutoring, yeah. And so that was actually really cool because I loved all my tutors throughout those like that 3-year period. And I got to go back to school for like maybe a month at a time, depending on when we shot, when our hiatus was. But I balanced it really well. My friends like understood that I'd be busy and stuff, and when I had time to hang out, we hung out, and
that's good.
I had a really easy time.
You had a great support system.
Yeah, exactly. Like. No, everyone around me was pretty stoked. So I had it pretty easy for sure.
Do you feel like you missed out on any of those quintessential like growing up moments?
I did miss out on a couple like school trips. I missed out on the Europe trip. That was like amazing. Of course, I missed out on like my grad. I missed out on a couple like event things from my grad and stuff. But other than that, it was all school related, and like anything I wanted to do like outside of school, I did. So I didn't really miss out on that much at all.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned how you grew up on set and grew as an actor. What do you think being on set made you mature faster than a normal teenager?
I think it's just working around adults all day. And they were hardly adults too. Like they were adults, but like, come on. No, they actually, it's just being around adult people and business people and kind of in that zone, it grows you up a lot faster than being in high school.
Yeah.
Being an idiot, right? So, but no, I think, yeah, just being around all the, the older people and just kind of finding my grounds as like who I was, and I was figuring it out and kind of came at the perfect time, and yeah, so.
So as you know, we had Matt Dallas in, your co-star from Kyle XY. He was here yesterday, and I know that you guys were very close as a cast, and we were actually talking about how many people came from that show that you would never think of, like Corey Monteith.
Exactly, yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, I know. It was like, it was such a, honestly though, there was a lot of good talent on Kyle XY. There was a lot of great talent. It was a great show too. Sucks that it got canceled, right? But
there was a very abrupt ending.
It was a cliffhanger. It came out of nowhere. I feel so bad for the fans that were like diehards because their third season wasn't wrapped up, and it left a huge like gap open, that can't be closed.
Yeah. I actually know people who started watching it because it was on Netflix, and they got really upset too because they watched it all the way through.
Wait a second, Netflix didn't record the fourth season. Oh, there isn't a fourth season.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So after Kyle XY, you went on to do films like 16 Wishes and Best Player, both of which were shot in Vancouver as well.
Yep.
So what was the transition like when you had to start doing taping in like on location or in Los Angeles?
I mean, the transition from Vancouver to LA was huge because it's such a different kind of community. The acting community is it's a lot smaller in Vancouver. Everything's smaller. So you'll work on like 50 different jobs in a year, but you'll know the crew on every one of the jobs. And you walk on set, you're like, yo, what's up, Johnny? What's up, Dave? It's everyone knows each other, and it's like a family. It's, much more family oriented. So yeah, the transition from Vancouver to LA is a big one, but doing like the TV thing and then kind of going into like features and movies and stuff, there's really not that much of a different, like TV, it's constant work.
Yeah. So
you're working for, months and months and months out of the year. For like a TV movie or a feature or whatever, you're working for a couple months and then you're done.
Yeah.
Which I prefer to work all year. I like being on set. That's where I feel most comfortable. So I mean, I definitely like television a lot better.
You do?
I love television.
What's the difference between, I know you've done Kyle XY and then you did a bunch of features. What's the difference between doing that and a sitcom with a live audience?
Oh man, sitcom is like way different than anything else.
Because you rehearse all week and then...
You rehearse like 3 days a week and we pre-tape on Thursdays and do the live audience on Fridays. So it's like more of like a Monday to Friday, like 9 to 5 job kind of. And I've never experienced that in my life. I've always been an actor, so I've never had like a normal like job. So sitcom, literally, it's like every morning is the same time, and you usually get out at the same time. So it's so much different. Like single cam, like Kyle XY, you'd film, it's like any other single cam 1 hour drama where you'll shoot 12 hours one day, and then you'll have the next day you shoot for 2 because you're only in one scene, or you shoot for 18 one day, and then you have a day off. Yeah, it's like all over the place. I kind of miss that spontaneity for sure. But sitcom, you get the audience, and that just makes up for it.
Yeah,
the audience is great.
So another film that you were in was LOL with Demi Moore and Miley Cyrus and Ashley Greene as well.
Yeah.
The bulk of your scenes were with Miley Cyrus. So what was it like to work with her?
I was super nervous.
Really?
I didn't know, because I heard so many things about her. I didn't know if she was like super nice or super crazy. But she actually turned out to be super awesome, very chill, very hardworking. And it was fun, man. We clicked pretty well, and we were in Detroit for 2 weeks. And no, I have nothing bad about it to say. It was actually a lot of fun. I was only in like 3 scenes or something, but my involvement in the movie was small, but it was a very fun job, and like very eye-opening to meet such a big superstar, right? And to find out they're kind of normal.
Did you learn anything from any of the stars that were in it on set?
Well, Demi is probably one of the most nicest, like respectful human beings I've ever seen work. You see a lot of people, like, especially in the early morning when they're a little bit frustrated, where they've had a hard week, you know, shooting long hours and stuff on a movie, like 18-hour days, and you see them kind of like grumpy and, you know, a little bit, you know, quick to snap a little bit. She was like the most chill human there, and like just respectful, trying to make everyone, you know, have a good time on set. And I love to see that, and that's the way you're supposed to be. Definitely.
That's always amazing to hear when people
she's
aren't
such
divas,
a nice lady.
when they can be, because they're so high in their career.
Well, because like everyone is tugging them all these different directions, you know, and she is just a very class act girl, and it was to see that, I was like, wow, I can respect that a lot.
So I know you mentioned you know, the difference between shooting in Vancouver and shooting in LA, how it's much more of an industry here. Did you jump right into acting classes once you kind of came down here, or? You
know what? I was that dude who like always ruled against acting classes.
Really?
When I first moved out here, because I'd been to ones in Vancouver, and they're mostly all scene study courses in Vancouver, and it's just like you get a scene, you got to work on it for a week and come, you know, have it prepared for the next week or whatever. That whole setup I didn't enjoy too much. I think maybe it's because I didn't have the right coach, like the right acting coach.
That makes all the difference, though.
Oh, definitely, because like the more comfortable you feel, the more, you know, comfortable and able you are to express yourself and learn and do better. You know, I always was really good with private coachings. Like I had a private coach, not with a class, and those always worked really well for me. And so I moved out here and kind of brought that mentality. I was like, oh, well, I'll just do private coachings. But then I found a coach, Stan Kirsch, in Hollywood, who is just changed my entire outlook on acting and preparation and specificity. And he's the reason I booked Baby Daddy.
Really?
Just from what he taught me about sitcoms and comedy and how I prepared that audition all came from him. Like it was incredible. And so I'm totally down for acting classes. Definitely take them. Just go and find the course that fits you. And
he changed your mind.
He totally changed my mind, because I was always nervous about it.
What about that changed your mind?
It's just because he's such a good coach, and not all coaches are like him. So you just have to, you know, try different classes, find somebody who you're comfortable with, who's smart and who's confident, and who's just been around the business a long time. Stan's been doing this since he was young, and he went to school for it. Like he's a very, very smart, intelligent actor. So I was always against acting classes. I moved out here, and a couple years later I joined his class, and like literally just my career has picked up like crazy just because of what I learned from that class.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you currently play Ben Wheeler on ABC Family sitcom Baby Daddy, as we mentioned, and the pilot, they shot it with a different actor and then ended up choosing you instead. So what was the process like for getting that role?
It was just like any audition experience and process. Like I went on the first audition with Allison and got the call back, went again for another call back, and like had a meeting with the director, and just tested for ABC Family. And I've worked for ABC Family before, so seeing all the girls up there was kind of nice. I was nervous still, but seeing everybody in the office that I knew already from Kyle XY, and it was about a week and a half process from when I first auditioned to when I booked it. It was pretty straightforward. I think Dan Berenson, our creator, head writer, we clicked right away. Like the minute we met each other, it was like boom, we understand each other, and he liked what I was doing with it. And that's what he envisioned, and it was very easy. And he wanted me to get the role. Like you could tell that he was fighting for me, you know, and he was going to do anything in his power to make sure I got the role. He told Michael Lembeck, our director, he's like, Michael, don't you scare Jean-Luc. Don't you scare him out of this role, okay? Because Michael's
is he a scary person?
No, well, at first he is. Michael, you are so scary sometimes. No,
intimidating.
Intimidating. That's a better word for it. No, he's a very big personality, and he's a genius. And he's been doing this since he was like bred. You know, he's a very smart, talented, funny man. And I knew his resume. Like he'd worked on Friends. Like he directed Friends, like the first, second season. Like that's. huge.
And you always compare Baby Daddy kind of to Friends.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, just working with him, I was nervous. And he's very strong, and he's very, like, he knows what he wants, and he's always right. He really is. He's always right because he's so talented. So I was nervous to meet him, but the whole process actually was really great. And Michael ended up giving me the best notes of my life, and I ended up booking it, so.
Cool. And the other actors, they had already been cast, right?
Yeah, I was the new guy.
So what was it like walking in on set when they had already done the pilot? And
it was kind of weird for sure. Although me, Derek, and Todd hit it off right away. So the three men and a baby kind of just hit it off right away.
I say it's like 3 men and a baby minus a Tom Selleck mustache.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm gonna grow my chevron mustache pretty soon. That's coming next season for sure. No, I mean we all hit it off really, really quickly. They're really great guys, and it was my first sitcom. So the first couple weeks, I wasn't even thinking about like the chemistry with the cast. I was thinking like I need to get this down. So everything else seemed like to pick up real quickly because I wasn't really thinking about it too hard. I was more like I need to be funny, and I've never had an audience before, you know. And going in front of the audience, the first day was like the coolest, most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done, for sure.
Is there a lot of pressure to make people laugh? Like if you're trying to be funny?
Well, yeah, because there's 200 people in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, you just like I trusted the writing. The writing of our show is genius, and so I trusted it, and I took what notes I could from Lem and all the producers and writers and stuff, and I just did my job as an actor. I just tried to act it as best I could and have fun and make it look as natural as I could and just prepared it like crazy. So it wasn't too hard.
Well, with sitcoms especially, like there is the funny writing, but then a lot of it comes from like the way that you guys look, or you know, just certain personality traits. And
I think that's what's great about like a first season of a show, when you see like the actors, they're still trying to figure it all out and figure out their characters and figure out like their physical comedy. You know, it takes a little while for that stuff to build up, you know. And it's funny going back and watching the first few episodes of Baby Daddy. It's like I'm watching myself going, why do I look so uncomfortable in this scene? It's because I was still trying to figure out like who I was as like a comedy actor. And kind of learning my body and how to use my body in funny ways and making it natural. So do you learn a lot from watching yourself? I know a lot of actors refuse to watch their work, or they can't. I don't know. I suppose I do learn a lot, but I don't enjoy it. So it's like other people, oh yeah, watch it. I don't really I don't enjoy it. I'm picking it apart. Like I'll pick out like every small little, you know, discrepancy I have with the show and like, you know, brain pick it. So it's not like a fun experience for me. And
You're just a perfectionist
experience
about that stuff.
I'm just, well, I mean, I'm sure when an artist makes, you know, a painting and stuff, after, you know, it's all dry, he looks at it and like finds things he doesn't like about it. It may be good, it may be really great, things that anybody else won't notice. But obviously the eye is of the beholder. Is that?
I say you're your own worst critic. I look at my interviews. I'm like, oh, you suck, Cathy.
Oh, what the hell is that? Why'd you say that? Yeah, exactly. I do that all the time.
So I know the cast has such great chemistry because you guys are such good friends off screen. You guys have vacation together. You and Derek actually live together.
Yeah.
So what is that experience like?
What, living together?
Yeah. It's like you're with him 24/7.
24/7, I know. We were already spending so much time together anyways. Like we'd work, and then we'd go to the gym, and then we'd like go see a movie or something with friends. And we kind of like, we kind of introduced all of our like our crews to each other, and they all like mended well. So it's like we're just a big group of like, you know, friends now. So we live with like my old roommate and his old roommate. So we kind of just put that together, and it was like, yes, it makes sense. We all get along.
That sounds like a total bachelor pad.
It is kind of a bachelor pad. Derek's now dating somebody. I can't say who, but it was a bachelor pad
what
until like a month ago.
What does it rhyme with? No.
Yeah, right. No, because you know. So it is like a bachelor pad, sort of, for sure.
Yeah.
Or a frat house. Well, it was a frat house until. Well, actually, our last house was more of a frat house. We moved into like a much nicer, like, the walls are nice and painted, and there's hardwood and tile. The old house was old carpet and lots of stains everywhere.
Do you guys keep it clean at least?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, really?
I'm probably the dirtiest one in the whole house. I'm the guy that I like a lived-in environment.
Do they ever get mad at you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the time. But like, what can you do about it? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll
Clean.
clean it up. Exactly. So, I'm definitely the messiest one, but I'm not dirty. I leave stuff out sometimes, and I like a lived-in, like, living space. I don't like everything being 100% clean. I think it's weird. I think it's like, who am I showing this house to right now? Am I selling this house? No, I'm not. I feel like a couple dishes left out, that's normal. As long as they don't stink or there's no fruit flies.
We need to teach you to clean.
No, I know. I am clean. I'm very hygienic. Okay. I shower like 5 times a day. I'm just joking. No, I'm very hygienic. I leave stuff out sometimes, especially my clothes. I'm just all over the place.
Well, in your room, that's fine, but in the public space.
Living areas,
yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
So what is your favorite memory from hanging outside, like offset with the cast?
Oh man, there's so many good ones. It's like every weekend we have such a great time together because we all hang out, and then it's like we do a recap on like Monday to Wednesday with our director.
Yeah.
He has lunch with us, and we just talk about the mischief we got up to on the weekends. A lot of it I'm not going to say on camera, but we just I can't think of just one. I mean, we have such amazing moments. We actually, this one time, it was after the very first episode of Baby Daddy, after the audience taping on that Friday, and we went out to one of the bars across the street, and I've had a few drinks. I'm having a good time. It was my very first like audience appearance in my life. Mm-hmm. And so I remember I was talking to myself. The rest of the cast is about 10, 15 feet away from me. And I was just walking. I'm just like, man, I'm just so glad. And like, I'm just talking to myself, and everyone looks back and they're like, what? It was a great moment. That was probably the very first amazing moment. So now it's like, we always say like, oh man, I'm just so glad whenever we're happy. I was just so happy. It was my very first sitcom television appearance, and it was like my show. So like, I was having a great time that night. Like, woohoo, I'm gonna cut it off there.
Yeah. So I heard that you are a jokester. You are the most likely to break character on set when you're filming a scene. So do you ever get in trouble for that?
We don't get in trouble. Like, it's with me and Taj, because like when Taj starts to break, I'm over. It's over for me, and vice versa. So it's whenever we're in a scene together, there's always one line that comes out weird, and we're both just like trying to hold it back. And we do like actually, I have a really funny story about Matt Dallas about this, but I break character a lot for sure, because it's just like I love laughing, I love and I'm so much like my character anyway, so it's like, come on, so I do break character when something funny or spontaneous happens that wasn't planned. It's hard for me to keep it in. Well, I haven't trained myself in the improv game yet. So.
Take some classes.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't take private improv classes, can you?
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't take a private in improv for sure.
Yes, and I guess you turn to no one.
There's no one there. That was great. Yeah, let's do that again. I would love to take improv classes, but no, Matt Dallas on the set of Kyle XY, when I was still learning how to act, whenever Matt was about to laugh in a scene, he would bite his lip. But it was the most uncomfortable, painful looking thing in the world. So like, we'd be in a scene or whatever, going back and forth, and as soon as we both think we're about to laugh, Matt will go and just bite down so hard to make himself not laugh, and that was funny looking. So like, I would laugh even more. Yeah, I'm like, dude, like, you're gonna rip open your mouth, dude. So, that was so funny. Whenever he like just a little titter, he would go.
Do you have to think of something else, like when you're about to laugh? Like, do you
honestly,
think of like
when you get the giggles,
dead cats or something? I don't know. Like,
when you get the giggles, it's just, it lasts. I don't know what to do about it. You just go with it, and hopefully it ends soon. Actually,
take two.
What's actually really great about our producer Tim Marks, who is one of the coolest, best bosses in the world, he's the dude that is the guy to come over to say like, okay guys, come on. We're on time here. Let's go. Come on, there's a lot of money here. Let's go. So that kind of freaks us out a bit. So whenever I'm laughing and stuff, when Tim comes by, it's like, okay, time to work.
You snap back.
Yeah, it's time to go back to work.
Yeah. So on the show, your character doesn't realize he's a father until a baby is put on his doorstep. I heard that you had never even held a baby before the show.
Maybe once or twice for like 10 seconds.
But you look super comfortable now. Like I saw some interviews with the babies from last season, and you were just like holding the baby. It started to like murmur, and you're just like.
When you spend every day with them for a few weeks, like even that few week period, it seems like not enough time. But you get to know the baby, like the individual. So like every kid is different. Like the first few weeks of our show, like every season we have new babies every season. So. That first month is that like time where it's time to figure out what this baby likes, what it doesn't like, how it likes to be held, and they're all different. They all have like different preferences, how they want to be held and stuff. So it takes a little while to get to the comfortability part of it, but no, I'm great with babies. Like I go back home up to Vancouver, Alberta, back in Canada, and like all my cousins are having babies all over the place, and I'm like, like before I would have been like, no, get it away from me.
Oh, because you said your dad has a big family.
Yeah,
so.
it's tons of cousins. So they're all having kids, and I used to go up there and I'm like, oh, hi, okay, passing it off, right, hot potato. Now I go up there and I'm like playing with the kids, holding them, they're falling asleep on my shoulder. I'm totally cool with it. So have the kids on set and your cousins and whatnot made you want to start a family now? I know you're really young. Or has it deterred you like, okay, I'll have a kid in like a decade? You know what? I always say this, it's the best birth control I could have ever had.
I completely agree.
They're great babies, and it's it's too perfect of an environment because we get them when they're super happy, and when they start crying, it's like turn them around, send them off, take the other twin, you know? So that doesn't happen in real life. You can't just like when your baby starts crying just swap it out for a twin that isn't. So and it's already a chore. It's already like hard to do it, you know, and I don't have to change diapers. I don't have to put them to sleep.
You're like a professional babysitter that gets paid a lot more.
I'm like the uncle. I'm like the cool uncle. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, here, have your baby back. Yeah, I mean, we get them in such a perfect environment, and it's still hard. So I can't imagine what it's like, you know, 24/7 having a baby around that's like needs your full attention. It's something that I definitely will warm up to one day, but not anytime soon.
So I know you got your start in acting at a very young age. These babies are literally getting their start in acting at infancy. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's great because they'll be able to pay off university, college before they even know if they want to be an actor or not. Like, they won't even remember this time. So it's like, well, you might as well just use them and put them in a show or something, and then they'll make a bunch of money at least, and you can put it away. And when they're 10 years old, if they don't have an act for it, they don't want to act anymore, then, you know, at least they have their college fund ready to go. And I think it's great. I mean, I definitely put my kids in acting when they're young, and it's fun. As long as you make it fun and you keep it about just like not a business thing, and make sure there's not too much pressure on them, and then they have a great time. Like, I was a kid, I was young, I was still in elementary school, and I was doing commercials and stuff, but I thought it was fun. Auditioning was fun because I got to skip school. You know, my dad would come in like, you know, halfway into class and be like, yo, Jean-Luc, let's go. I'm like, oh yeah. Yo, peace, guys.
Friends getting jealous.
I'm going downtown Vancouver, baby. Peace out, Surrey. So yeah, no, it was fun for me, and I think as long as you make it fun for your kid, it's a great thing, you know.
I think that's one of the things. The twins are related to Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen a lot because they got their start on a sitcom at a very young age as well. Yeah. So they do have that option. As long as
we always say they're gonna have like their own empire in like a year from now, or like whatever. They're gonna have like
they already have their own Twitter account.
I know they have their own Twitter account. I know they're gonna have literally perfumes in like 10 years. They're gonna have clothing lines, and they're gonna have their own spin-off show. definitely a spin-off show.
I think it's so funny though that they're tweeting already. Like,
I know, right?
I mean, they're not tweeting, but
right.
So social media is a huge part of staying relevant nowadays. So how do you use Twitter to interact with your fans?
I was never into Twitter until I booked Baby Daddy. I figured, like, well, the rest of the cast has one. I might as well get on board. It's great. I think I would have loved to had this this communication outlet with like my favorite bands or favorite know actors when I was a kid. Like that would be amazing. And so I just I try to reach out to everyone I can and reply people on Twitter and tweet them or whatever, just to, because I feel like that would make me really, really happy to get that from like one of my favorite bands or something. I would be like over the moon. That would make my year if I got tweeted from Rush or something. I'd be all over the place. So no, I think it's great to kind of include your fans in your life, and always keep a distance, but like be able to kind of engineer your publicity and engineer like how you want people to think about you. You know what I mean? So there's not like other people doing it for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there are so many people who have other people write their tweets now.
Well, there's that, and then there's also like you just want like your fans to know what you're up to, and like that personal connection, instead of like them opening up a magazine and seeing you flop out of a restaurant or something. You know what I mean? Like you want them to know that you're not a dingbat.
It gives you a personality.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They get to see your personality off screen.
Yeah, exactly. And just have that personal connection with your fans. I think it's great.
What's the craziest thing a fan has said to you on Twitter?
Oh man, they said some crazy stuff. I can't even say the craziest stuff, but like they'll like throw out their number, like their cell phone number. Actually, the other day, so funny, we went to Extra at the Grove, and a girl handed me her number.
Really?
Isabella, I think. No, I know. I read the note. It was got her name and number. I'm like, oh, that's funny. But I've had that stuff on Twitter before, where they'll just throw out their number like in open space. What? No, it's live to tape, Shannon. You can't redo that. It's not a big deal. Whatever.
I think it's sweet.
Yeah, and so no, I've had like stuff like that. I don't really want to say the crazy ones I've had, like the Twitter experiences, but some fans are much more enthusiastic than others. Let's just put it that way.
So do you ever Google yourself?
All the time.
Bing yourself, I guess.
I just to see what's up. I do it every once in a while. My mom actually does it for me a lot.
Really?
So she knows what I'm up to more than I know what I'm up to. So
in what regard?
She just knows everything, where I'm at every day.
So it'll be like, oh, I saw that picture of you at that restaurant last night.
Yeah, how's the food?
Yeah.
Or something, or like, oh, the waiter tweeted what you had. Oh, how'd you like it? I'm like, what? You know what I'm eating?
It's kind of scary how much you can learn about someone online these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like it's a biography. You just go and find out everything you need and know what they're up to, and I guess it's our own fault for having Twitter and Instagram and stuff. They know where we are at all times, but no, I definitely my mom keeps up with all that info for me. So
are they like your biggest cheerleaders, your parents?
My mom would be. My dad is the chillest dude in the world, and he's like indifferent. He's the most supportive dad in the world. Don't get me wrong, but he's just like, he knows it's just a job. And I'm having fun. And my mom is definitely the cheerleader for sure. My dad's like the moderator between me and my mom. When she starts, ticking me off, it's my dad comes in the middle and says, okay, both of you just need to shh. Right? But
who are you more like, your mom or your dad?
I'm like an equal. I'm a hybrid. I'm a half hybrid of the two. I can't.
You don't seem very chill. I mean, like you're.
No, I'm
cool,
a chill.
But
but like it's just. It's weird. I hear my mom's voice so much, but then I hear the way my dad speaks in me, like I have like his like speech pattern, but then I sound like my mom, and then I look like my dad, and then I have certain traits from my mom's family. I can't think of who I'm more like, because I think I'm like the absolute middle ground of my mom and dad. Yeah. Completely.
So going back to Baby Daddy really quickly, I know that on the last day of taping season 2, you guys got the amazing news that you were renewed for a season 3.
Yeah.
And going on hiatus as an actor, it's always nerve-wracking because you don't know whether you're going to have a job again.
I know.
So what was it like? What was your first reaction when you heard that?
Ooh, man. There's actually a videotape of it, of us finding out on ET. Yeah, they were there to cover it.
You can't fake those reactions.
Yeah, that was like the most genuine, happy thing I've ever seen of myself. It was great. We kind of knew it was coming just from the product that we have from our season 2. It's a much tighter, funnier, faster, better show than our first season. The first season was great, but our second season we just kind of built it up and really found the grounds to our characters and our storylines and stuff. So and the network had always been very supportive of us and of our season 2. So we thought, like, it's definitely coming. I did not think we were gonna find out about season 3 until I thought for sure like halfway in the hiatus.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting it that soon, but I knew it was coming eventually. But it's so amazing to have had that experience because it's a once in a lifetime thing. Mm-hmm. Not many shows get picked up for their next season when they haven't even finished filming the previous season. Like that doesn't happen often at all. Mm-hmm. And it's great, and it was great to spend that time and getting like told about the season 3 in front of our actors and the crew and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen. Usually, like you get a phone call at like 9 a.m, like, hey, your show got picked up. It's like, yeah, okay.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, exactly. And then like sending texts.
Yeah.
Instead, we had like the entire crew, cast and crew, and producers and writers, and we were just jumping around, screaming.
What's the first thing you did? Like, did you call your parents?
Went out and bought a car.
You bought a car?
No, I bought a car earlier, but no.
Go to Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly. What did I do? I always splurge myself. Like every time I book a job, I buy myself a little gift.
Yeah.
Kind of. I can't remember what
else have you bought yourself? A car?
Oh man, I bought a jet ski last year.
What?
I bought a Jeep a few months ago. Yeah, I'm real saving my money, that's for sure. No, I'm not sure what I did. I think I was just so happy and like so glad to know that no matter if I do anything in this hiatus, I know that I'm coming back to work in July, and I can just relax.
Yeah.
That's such a feeling that people don't really get to experience. So this last few months of hiatus have been like super chill.
Yeah. What do you usually do when you're on hiatus, like in your free time?
I go back home a lot, back to Vancouver, and spend a lot of time up there. Even though my whole team is like, stay in LA.
In case you book a job or.
Well, yeah, obviously for auditions and stuff,
yeah.
And I do spend a lot of time in LA for sure. That's like my home here. So, I go back to Vancouver a lot. I don't travel much. I just go back home.
Yeah.
Because that's like kind of my vacation, see my family and friends and stuff, and I go camping a lot. Yeah. Tons of camping and spending a lot of time outdoors.
That's fun.
Near the water. Yeah, it's great. I love it. That's the perfect way to spend a hiatus. Yeah, I just chill out and kind of go with the flow. I went to Hawaii for the first time just a few weeks ago.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's the farthest I've been away from home in my entire life. So
Really?
I've only been on one vacation prior to Hawaii. I went to Mexico when I was 6 years old, and then I went to Hawaii at 22.
So you've never been like overseas?
Never.
That's crazy.
Never.
Do you ever plan to go?
Yeah, I think I might go to Australia in February.
Australia's amazing.
I have a ton of family out there, some people that I know, and it's about time I actually did it. I'm actually nervous about it. I'm a nervous traveler, so I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But and it's a long flight too, so
it's like
and I hate
an entire day of traveling.
Literally, yeah.
So, any dream roles like that you have that you haven't gotten the opportunity to do yet?
I mean, I love action movies. Mm-hmm. I do love action movies. I love to be like an enforcer. Well, maybe not an enforcer because I'm not that big, but maybe not an enforcer, but like a hitman or something with like guns. And
there have been some like smaller actors.
Well, thank you.
I'm not saying you're small, but I'm just saying people that don't look like The Rock. Like Alex Pettyfer did the role in like the Justin Timberlake movie where he was like the hitman.
That's what I want to do. Like cool, like being a suit and a gun, like kind of like a James Bond kind of thing.
Yeah.
The Canadian James Bond. Oh, that'd be funny. Jean jacket. Canadian tuxedo. All denim. Anyways, no, I'd love to just have like a gun or something and just be like knocking people off. It'd be a fun, cool like action movie or whatever. I'd love to do comedy though. I'd love to do I'd love to be like the next Ace Ventura or something.
I know you looked up to Jim Carrey when you were growing up.
I love Jim Carrey. He's like the reason I'm an actor. So I'd love to like do something with him or be him one day, like in a movie. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe in his biopic or something. I'll be the young Jim Carrey.
That would be cool. Was that your Jim Carrey impression?
No,
so I was actually going to ask you, my next question was, whose career do you want to emulate?
Oh man. I've actually, I really like Ryan Reynolds' path. Mm-hmm. I really, really like where he's gone. And it's kind of cool because we're both from Vancouver. We went to the same acting school. We booked a job in Vancouver at a young age, moved to LA at the same age. booked a show, a sitcom with the same director, Michael Lembeck, who directed him in Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Is it 3 guys, a girl, and a pizza place? 2 guys, a girl, and whatever. It was
multiple
a sitcom.
People in a pizza place.
Yeah, just a bunch of people in a pizza place, and so we've just like followed the exact same path so far, and I would be so blessed to keep that ball rolling and kind of follow his trajectory, because he like was the comedy guy for a while, and then he just got super jacked.
He's done it all. He's done comedies. He's done now he's in R.I.P.D. and like a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, so totally. And like he started off doing just comedy sitcom stuff and being the funny guy, and then out of nowhere he became super good looking. So I'm kind of waiting for that to happen. You know, maybe take some steroids or something. I'm just joking. Not steroids. Oh man.
Your publicist is giving
My
you the eye.
Just,
I love it.
It happens all the time. So no, I just like, and follow his path. I would love to.
Yeah. So I know you recently started your own production company, Bilodeau Productions.
Bilodeau Productions.
What do you hope to? I love the name, by the way. What do you hope to do with that company?
I just started it, and so it's something that like it's such an early thing to say. Like I want to produce, I want to write, I want to direct. I'll probably start off with doing like short films, independent projects, and kind of learn. I feel like as an actor we have such a great opportunity in place to learn about so many other like facets of the industry, of the film industry. So I think that like just learn how to direct, learn how to light, learn how to shoot and operate, and eventually make some movies. Yeah,
I heard in an interview that you wanted to do be the director of photography eventually. So
I would love to be a DP. Definitely.
What about that job is interesting?
Because every DP, like they've got so much to take care of, and they're so intelligent. I feel like I want to do that. I want to know that much about something. I mean, acting is great. I love acting, and it's a learning process. I'll always be learning about acting and stuff. You never can conquer acting. With like being a DP and lighting and cameras, it's kind of the same thing. And I love to learn that about it and learn the technology behind film and television, because without a DP, without lighting, equipment, cameras, I wouldn't be here. So I would love to. You know what though? I would love to do everything. I want to just do everything on a film set eventually, and just and
so
spread myself out.
5 years from now, where do you see your career? What do you hope to accomplish?
Where I'd like to see my career. All right. I definitely in 5 years I want to have already started directing, and just directing like TV, film stuff, and I'd love to just still act and be a little bit more well known, I guess, and just keep building, I guess, and build the fan base and all that stuff, and be recognized for like my hard work, obviously, and just having fun. I want to have fun. There you go. I want to see myself having fun in 5 years. Yeah, whatever I'm doing. Yeah.
Our boss at AfterBuzz always says, "Have fun." That's his
just
line whenever he leaves. Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is the shameless plug time. You are allowed to talk about anything that you would like to promote.
Oh man.
Baby Daddy.
Baby Daddy. Watch it. Yeah, Wednesdays, 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC Family. Yes. Got that in. What else should I talk about?
You can promote your Twitter.
Oh yeah. Check it out. Twitter at JLBLives. LIVES. JLBLives.
Cool. And
Instagram JLBLives. Or no,
and you have Vine too, right?
I have a Vine. It's Jean-Luc Bilodeau with a dash. Oops.
You're breaking stuff now.
I know, just tossing things over. All right, thank God I finished my coffee. This would be like all over me.
So make sure to follow us on iTunes. You can subscribe to our Chatting with Cathy show. Just type in AfterBuzz TV in iTunes. You can find all of AfterBuzz TV shows. We do about 60 shows a week. And rate and comment. We'd be your best friend forever. You can follow me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly. So until next time, we will see you then.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.